St. Daniel of the parking lot, help me find a parking spot. Is you or is you not St. Daniel of the parking lot? I noticed as I was being driven around in my discreet limousine last night, there is not much traffic or as much traffic in this town as there has been the last few months. Some people tell me it's because school is in session, even online school, although classes are being attended somewhat by people. In this day and age of pandemic concern. But I pulled into Walmart. I didn't pull into Walmart. I told my driver to pull into Walmart, and there was plenty of parking for this not quite right reverend. But today I sense that someone is not finding the proper parking space. So let us begin today by securing that parking spot for the individual or individuals in need of convenient parking. S.P. lot. S.P. lot. S.P. lot. S.P. lot. St. Daniel of the parking lot, help me find a parking spot. Parking spot found for those who have put their ego in the trunk with the other bodies. For those who understand that there are other people too in need of convenient and appropriate parking. And if they are charitable enough, if their heart is pure enough, not pure in the classic sense of purity, but pure in the cleansing sense of purity, that the person knows that they have faults, that they can be moody, that they can allow their temper to get the best of them. Acknowledge this, restrain your tongue, nod your head, wave, and say, no, you first. And then the parking spot, in the parking lot that you desire will be yours. And so it goes. I walk with spirits. They take my hand as I get near it, the promised land. My brothers, my sisters, we are not alone. I walk with spirits. They take me home. I walk with spirits. They got my ear. They speak, I hear it. The message clear. Don't cry for family. Don't cry for self. There's a world we know. Then there's something else. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. So do you. The spirit we're most concerned with tonight or today is, of course, Saint Daniel of the parking lot. Now, I do not know how many people are familiar with the days of St. Daniel's time here on earth, but he went through a myriad of changes. Some were good, some not so good. Some people have come to equate him as some type of Rumi-esque character. Those who don't know Rumi, or those who do know Rumi, know that he was a Sufi, a Muslim Sufi, a student of Islam, of Allah, and he was a prophet and a visionary, a mystic, more so I would say than a prophet. There's Muhammad's the prophet, from my weak understanding of this, but he was a mystic, a visionary, and known for his Sufi dancing and his trance-induced state by which he would spout poetry. And there was a person who volunteered, I believe, I'm not sure, I wasn't there. I know Rumi is over 800 years old, and but there was someone who transcribed his poems and his ecstatic verse and wrote it down. And I have been honored to tell you that I have uncovered right here some of St. Daniel's utterances, because St. Daniel had his own follower, a person who would write down what St. Daniel said. And he'd write it down in popular lyric and song verse, stanza, verse, chorus, stanza, whatever they call it. I'm not too sure about it. AABA, whatever. But I guess because St. Daniel at one time was quite a good musician, one day we'll have some people who were involved in some of those recording sessions, some other session people, at least one other. Right now, he's unavoidably detained and cannot make his appearance here at our weekly gathering of the Church of St. Daniel of Parking Lot Saints. But believe you me, he is a parking lot saint. When he comes here, I'll tell you all about him. But I found some verses. There was a time in St. Daniel's life when he was very ill. It was near the end of his time here on earth. And there was a time when he was better. Just because a person's a saint, it's hard to be a saint. It's harder still to live with a saint. They are so contrarian in their nature, so across the board different than the rest of us, in that they have a higher calling, I think, than most of us, and they have problems accepting this about themselves. And all through his life, St. Daniel had problems accepting his gift of being able to provide people with the trivial and mundane things of which they're in desire, which is their heart's desire sometimes. Like if you have ever forgotten or misplaced your keys, you know it's your heart's desire until they are found or replaced to have those keys. The same with a parking space. I read to you a few weeks ago how many people are maimed and killed because they're making a stand about their right to that particular parking spot. But for some reason, sometimes St. Daniel thought this was a trivial gift and that he was not quite worthy of the attention being placed upon him. But then there were also times when his physical condition required that he give up what he considered as vices, but things that he enjoyed, like drinking and carousing. I know sometimes it's hard. I know St. Augustine and St. Francis of Assisi, I think that's how you say it. St. Francis, when I was a kid, we used to call him St. Francis the Sissy of Assisi. They had wild times as a young person, and because of their conversion or experience, they apparently gave that up. Sometimes St. Daniel regretted this. And this is a reading from the book of St. Daniel of Parking Lot Saints. I might have to take off my glasses, maybe. I won't give up another thing. I won't give up another thing of the pleasures this earthly life can bring. I won't give up another thing. I admit that I've taken to drink, and it has influenced the way I think, and my foot gets real heavy on the throttle whenever I'm too into the bottle. And I've always loved too much to eat, hit hard all that was sugary sweet. Now all these years of liquor and confection have sent my body in the wrong direction. But I won't give up another thing. I won't give up another thing of the pleasures this earthly life can bring. I won't give up another thing. In the army before the board of review, I was accused of taking more than a few illegal drugs to alter mood and mind. Charges were dropped. I left the service behind. But I didn't stop getting high, playing music, barely getting by. Took a part-time job, security guard. The straight life was exceedingly hard because I won't give up another thing. I won't give up another thing of the pleasures this earthly life can bring. I won't give up another thing. At my post, early morning, 1:30, a dude came by fast, flashing his gun. I blocked his exit firm with my boot. He put his pistol to my chest, and I said, "Motherfucker, shoot." He could have killed me right then and there. My blood would have spilled free, but I didn't care. And because I didn't care, I didn't flinch. I didn't shrink. I didn't give a prayer. I didn't give an inch. And the would-be shooter blinked. The would-be shooter blinked, dropped his piece, and he ran. I laughed and I said, "Don't fuck with the man." I reacted. I reached under the desk and brought up a flask. I rolled myself a fatty and attended to my task. 'Cause I won't give up another thing. I won't give up another thing of the pleasures this earthly life can bring. I won't give up another thing. Had me a family, raised me some kids, did all the stuff men like me did. Honed some of my skills, found a marketable trade. Life was, I can't read that. Life was looking up. I thought I had it made. Yeah, I had it made. I was playing the game. Big shots in my business. All knew my name. When they needed advice, they'd give me a call. Yeah, I had it real nice. Then I started to fall. Yeah, my fall was really a stumble at first. I'd catch my balance, then trip up even worse. Offend my superiors, step on some toes. And that was just the start of my laundry list of woes. Speaking of laundry, I tried to make it clean, and I went from smart ass to son of a bitch mean. Candy bars and whiskey made me a much nicer guy, till a diabetic coma and a third DUI brought my wife to the conclusion she didn't love me no more. So I walked into my beer den and I locked the door. It was my intention to drink myself to death till my brothers showed up. First I told them, save your breath. Still they pleaded that I let them take me to a place where they'd fix my soul and body. Put a smile on my face, and I went with them 'cause it was the least I could do, though I didn't agree with their point of view. 'Cause I won't give up another thing. I won't give up another thing of the pleasures this earthly life can bring. I won't give up another thing. That was 1998, so many years ago. I did it their way, 6 months, then I had to go. And get on with my life, start a good paying job, send money to my wife so she wouldn't have to rob, lie, cheat, and steal, so our girls could have shelter and food, a comfortable world. The woman had it all, it suited her mood. But she didn't love me. But she kept my name, 'cause love me or not, those checks cash just the same. And I didn't take care of myself all that good. I basically stopped doing all the things that I should have continued to do if I wanted to thrive. That's why I ended up more dead than alive. So I'm back with my big brother. He's my caretaker now. In the house that was my mother's and my father's. And we're getting by somehow. I've lost a leg, an eye, my sight, and others almost gone. In my dark night I cry, I want this pain gone. Put on a patch, take a pill, smoke another cigarette. The one vice left for me still. They can't make me quit them yet. Though my brother, Lord, let me tell you, the man has tried. But I tell him, you want some fresh air? Then you better take your lungs outside. 'Cause I won't give up another thing. I won't give up another thing. With the pleasures this earthly life can bring, I won't give up another thing. Now we all know what's left for me. The only question now is when. Sometimes I want this toil a bit longer. Sometimes I want it all to end. But it's not completely up to me, I'm sorry to report. Though I've done my best, I guarantee to cut this mortal coil short. And regrets, I have them. Not even going to lie. Won't get to see my girls all grown up. And I hope they don't cry too awful much over their old man. Or I think I gave them too short a shrift. The only thing I have to do to tell them is don't deny your gift. That's where all this problem stemmed for St. Daniel. He denied his gift. I did not want to be too heavy today. Summer break is over. Some people are worn out. Some people want to rest. Some people are reminiscent already. Recollections of the summer past that was fun for them while it was so much sorrow for other people. We know that, but there are some people who had fun. But in the search for fun, there can also be an avoidance of what's obvious. What's obvious. Today, St. Daniel is not of this world, St. Daniel of the parking lot. The Church of St. Daniel of Parking Lot Saints is flourishing now. And St. Daniel is not of this world, but he's still remembered, and we're still asking him to take time to share his, what he considered trivial gift, his small gift, that of providing parking spots, that of finding lost keys, that of finding, there was something else. Something else, but I can't remember. You know why I can't remember? Because it has been provided to me by St. Daniel of the parking lot, of Parking Lot Saints, this church. This has become my mission. My purpose in life is to tell people, don't give up on your gift, no matter how small it is. You know, St. Daniel was discouraged, but he knew in the end that the message was, don't give up on your gift, whatever that gift is. John Holmes had a gift. He told his wife it was his gift. It was his tool, you know. And I don't know if you would call it joy, but he brought happy endings to so many people. He provided that service, and it was his gift. Some people think it's a disgusting gift, I guess. Some people are of the mindset that it is not helped the world very much, but there are other people who respectfully disagree to the tune of $283 million a year, providing that small gift, sometimes bigger than other gifts. That small gifts to a population eager to avoid thinking about their own miserable gifts, I guess. So, you know, we're caught in this vicious cycle. It's a catch-22, except when it comes to the trivial stuff, except when it comes to the parking lot, except when it comes to the keys, except when it comes to finding some kind of reasonable excuse to continue your life, even if it seems pathetic, because it's not pathetic. It's just the way you're looking at it. It's just the way St. Daniel was looking at it. St. Daniel, here's another thing. I found it. I think I can find it. I'm going to look into, these aren't numbered. And one of the reasons I have a problem with the reading of it, it's because it's kind of like in a made-up language that St. Daniel and his translator made up for so long. Only he and those of the inclination to follow him could read. Okay? Here's another thing. One of the things, this is something that St. Daniel also thought of as a small gift, but it brought his children and many people who were able to witness this. This is a trivial thing that we all engaged in the last couple of weeks, I think, perhaps, outside in your backyard or even on the front porch. If you had yourself a little grill, sit back and smile, is what he called this. If there's one thing I like to do, is be in charge of the barbecue and have myself a beer or two while tending to the grill. Feel the heat of summer days intensified by charcoal blaze. Turn on the sprinkler. Let the children play. The kids will play. Yes, they will. It's days like these that make my life worthwhile. Excuse me, please, while I kick back and smile. I didn't always used to be this way, but I don't like to think about them others days. Brings me down more than I can say. Doesn't have anything to do with the way it is for me right now. What's been done's been done long time anyhow. I spilled some milk. I didn't kill the cow. How about a steak done well for you? It's days like this that make my life worthwhile. Excuse me, please, while I sit back and smile. Now, I ain't saying the end just 'cause that means I might just say no one gets out of here squeaky clean. After a long week of working hard, I like to spend my Sundays in my backyard, drink, smoke, and joke with my buddies, play some cards, the games on the radio. Yeah, sometimes I have it on my TV, but in good weather, inside's no good for me. We take it outside when we can, me and my family, out in the backyard. That's where I like to go. It's days like these that make my life worthwhile. Excuse me, please, while I sit back and smile. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up, and don't deny your gift. Don't deny your gift. It's my wish right now that St. Daniel could have and would have stuck with the barbecue. Maybe he could handle a beer or two. I mean, I don't know about me. I can't, but can you? If you can, that's great. You know, that's what I say. Don't give up the barbecue. Don't give up the barbecue. The barbecue's great. Out in the backyard, grilling, cooking. You know, a lot of people engage in that kind of thing, so people dismiss it as just small time. It's big time in your experience. It's big time in my experience. You know, the things that are the smallest are the biggest. You know, that's the paradox, I guess you want to call it. I don't know what you call it, but that's kind of like the funny thing. The thing that are the smallest are the biggest. Just think about this virus, this COVID-19 thing. You know, sometimes I get so, well, I wouldn't say mad, because why get mad? I get so shake my head. No, that's not the way it goes. When people say, and compared to the universe, we're just a speck. Don't think we're all that great. Don't think we're all that powerful. We're just a speck. Our speck, something that we cannot even see, is basically turning this world around, and it's smaller, way smaller than we are. And if that little thing can turn something around, if you don't deny your gift, just think what you can do. You can do proportionally as much good as that virus is doing harm. If you just put your ego in the trunk with the other bodies, S.P. lot, help me find a parking spot. Help me find a parking spot so I can park this car, get out, get myself a cup of coffee, and shake the hand of the person next to me and ask them, do you need anything I can give you? I didn't mean for this to be a do-gooder kind of sermon. I wanted to talk about our problems. Believe me, I got problems. Believe me, it's a problem every day for me to put this ego. Look at the way I am. Regally stepping forward and making sure that I'm putting the best face to the world, the representative for St. Daniel of Parking Lot Saints, the representative here. You know, I got to look good. I know I look good. I know I look good. I got to look holy. I got to look holier than thou. I got to pretend I don't think I'm holier than thou. I got to do everything in order to maintain a certain appearance so I can make St. Daniel of the parking lot saints, into a worldwide, well-known organization. So people everywhere won't have to worry about a couple of things. I got a block on the third thing. I'm sorry about that. One of the things I get most angry about myself is forgetting the third thing. I can 1, 2, but I forget 3 all of the time. So I'm humbling myself to you. And at the same time, being a hypocrite, kind of bragging about myself, being a Pharisee, telling you all about all the good things I'm doing in my representation of St. Daniel of the parking lot. Let me find one more thing. One more thing St. Daniel said that will basically bring it around. Where is it? I'm turning the pages. I'm trying to decipher. Oh, some of this is stuff that someone else. I think this is now the stuff in English, that's Joe Fingas. Joe Fingas has rifled through the sacred documents of St. Daniel of the parking lot, putting his own terrible verses in this holy book. Oh my God. Blasphemer? Blasphemer. Joe Fingas, blasphemer. I like that. Break a femur or two of his. I'm sorry. I should not be this way. But I'm a not quite right reverend. I'm not a reverend who's right. I'm not a right reverend. I'm a not quite right reverend. Okay. All right, here's something I'm going to read. This is put in. This is not from first person. It's someone else wrote it. I guess it's an epistle. St. Daniel, when you were 11, the British invaded and you wanted to play guitar. Yeah, you wanted to make it just like they made it. Be a rock and roll star. And when you opened the present Christmas morning, you picked up an electric bass. Wait a minute, I can't even read this. Wait a minute. And when you opened the present Christmas morning, you unwrapped a cheap electric bass. Mom said, not taking it back because you want 2 more strings. Don't leave your paper all over the place. Now I'm going to buy you a cake, going to fill it with candles. 60 will be the count. And I'm going to tell you, I won't tell what that is in days. Oh, never mind. This is gibberish. I can't even decipher it. And it's written in English. It's not even this code stuff, not even the hieroglyphics. I will read this that I can make out. And to all those folks who swore you never make it, I won't tell them you never did. I'm not going to tell them a thing. Just going to reminisce about when you and me were kids before it went. Now it's nothing else is written. I'm sorry. I thought it was going to be something cool. This is kind of like, this is the wrong book. All right, here we go. Here's something. Here's something. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. This is study. This is something. It's like every time I open this book, it's like a new book. You know, it's like there's something different I never saw before. You know, and this is something that's amazing to me. Now, St. Daniel loved his Aunt Gladys Murphy. I think I've told you about her before, a.k.a. Bunny, B-U-N-N-Y. Rhymes with funny, and she was funny, and she was a great relief to St. Daniel, and she was the first person to recognize his ability to provide her with convenient parking. But Daniel did not know what she knew. Every Saturday, she would petition him with St. Daniel of the parking lot, help me find a parking spot. Later on, some other people put the is you is or is you not, St. Daniel of the parking lot. But here's what I found his prayer. It's a prayer. It's the first prayer he said to God to help him provide this because he loved his aunt so much. It's, please, dear God, if you're a loving God, please understand my auntie. Because his aunt was profane. She cussed like a sailor. It was nothing to tell somebody, get fucked. I'm sorry. There's nothing to tell somebody that in her world. But she was also a wonderful, loving aunt. Please understand my auntie. She's the best person in the world. She makes me laugh. She thinks I'm smart. I know she curses you, but that's only true when she's angry. I know it's wrong to do, but it's only true when she's angry. And she's only angry when she can't find a place to park. So please, dear God, if it can be arranged, and if my request does not sound too strange, then I'd like a guarantee my Aunt Bunny get what she needs. I hope it's not asking a lot to provide her a parking spot. I was told yesterday that it's wrong to pray only for my pleasure, for basketballs, candies, and board games and cap guns. So I'll be clear here, sir. I'm praying only for her, my aunt, who by any measure hangs the moon for me. Throw in the stars, how about the sun? So please, dear God, if it can be arranged, and if my request does not sound too strange, I'd like it guaranteed. My Aunt Bunny get what she needs. I hope it's not asking a lot to provide her a parking spot. Well, I've run out of time. The pleasure was all mine. I have to go to bed now. Please bless my mother, my brother, and dad. He'll be home at 3. He'll fall through the door, kerplunk, because he'll be very drunk. Please don't let him wake us up, because I'm not in the mood to make him a cup of coffee. But I'm not asking that he not wake us, because I know you want no selfish prayers from me. It's just a wish, not a prayer, a guarantee. Please, dear God, if you're a loving God, please understand my auntie. She's the best person in the world. She makes me laugh. She thinks I'm smart. So please, dear God, if it can be arranged, and if my request does not seem too strange, I'd like it guaranteed my Aunt Bunny get what she needs. I hope it's not asking a lot to provide her a parking spot. The reason I found this book, as I was searching for answers, because the question last week, it continues to be the persistent question this week, is what is the Church of St. Daniel of Parking Lot Saints' position, in parentheses, no pun intended, on premarital sex? So far, I've found no position on premarital sex, good or bad. There's a lot of speculation There's no such thing as postmarital sex, however, in the literature. I do not know if this is a prank, perpetrated by the one and only Joe Fingas, thinking it's funny to mock a marriage, thinking it's funny to mock loving sexual activity, thinking it's funny to mock me, however much he states and claims to love his brother, the sainted Daniel. I think jealousy is rearing its ugly head. I have to ponder and talk with Daniel. I get to call him Daniel without having to say Saint Daniel. And I do not. It's one of the privileges, I think, of making this my mission, is that I just can call upon him as a friend. And, ask him questions. So I will have that answer next week. I will have the answer regarding premarital sex and if there is such a thing as postmarital sex. I'll have both answers for you because the questions are coming in. I do also want to thank people for the compliments they have provided for my vestments. I do want to thank you for that. What have we learned today? We learned that St. Daniel was just like us. Had good times, had bad times. He'd seen his share, and we discuss those similarities, so we will have hope. Without hope, and we won't go for the rope, 'cause this life is short enough with all kinds of ailments that we don't need to make a rash decision. Oh, it ain't no inquisition. I'm just asking you all a question. What is your gift? Don't deny it, you've got a gift. What is your gift? Don't try to hide it, you got a gift. You ain't 13 years old anymore, unless of course you're 13 watching this. You got a gift. Be advanced at 13 and don't dismiss your gift. My gift is playing 2 chords on this piano and making it sound like it's something else. Well, maybe it still sounds like 2 chords to you, but I'm stringing these words together, I'm getting through, and I'm making some kind of half-ass song, and that's where I belong. My gift is getting by me, and a half-ass preacher that no one ever pays attention to except from his vestments. He says, that's pretty nice. Could you tell me about this parking lot saint again? And that's my end, being mediocre. And that's my end, wearing this kind of colorful choker. And that's my end, I'll tell you all about St. Daniel of the parking lot. St. Daniel of the parking lot. Let's try another chord. Sound kinda hard, I got 4 chords now. sounds like too much. 4 chords now. Would you like to touch the hem of my garment? Oh, wait a minute. My ego's getting carried away, making me laugh at least. What an idiot I sound like. Yeah, I didn't even mean what it sounds like. It just came to me spontaneously. Maybe it wasn't even me talking. Maybe it was St. Daniel talking. Or maybe it was an actual deity. You know, maybe they're promising some kind of miracle if I touch the hem of the garment. You notice how I want to detach from responsibility from that statement. No one wants to touch my hem, not even a tailor. Oh, last time that happened to me, she said, "What's up, sailor?" I said, "I've never been on a boat. I don't know how to navigate this situation." She said, "I'm your captain, and I'm gonna take you to another nation." It's a good thing this is a different kind of church, 'cause I don't know if this stream of consciousness would count as prayer. I didn't mean to scare people up here on a first time viewing, curious kind of stop and see what this is all about. Somehow I want to get to the final refrain, 'cause this is a drain on my skill set. There we go. Please, Daniel, please find a parking lot for me. Please, Daniel, please find a parking spot for me. I know I always say parking lot, but you know I mean parking spot. Kind of quirk of my brain. That's where I wanna remain. Here we go. Please, Daniel, please find a parking spot for me. Please, Daniel, please find a parking spot for me. Find a parking spot for me. Daniel lived in a very bad part of town, and all the people there tried to put the future saint around. They laugh him and they mock him and they give him such misery, but he could find something to laugh about, yes sirree. Oh, there's one thing he wants to tell you all right now. He can grab parking, he can take it away. Let me tell you how. You do something that displeases him, makes him raises his ire. You'll never get the kind of parking you desire. For instance, what Triller did to Evander Holyfield, it's one thing I agree with Joe Fingas on. I should have never let him get in the ring. Disgraced a boxing icon. He was in no condition. They still made money off him. Threw him in there like to the lions. You know, if I wasn't so mad about it, this is St. Daniel right now saying I'd be crying. So from now on, you can advertise it on the internet, social media. You can claim to get like 100 million pay-per-view, but no one live will be seeing ya, 'cause there'll be no parking from now on. There'll be no parking. St. Daniel, go on. And there'll be no parking for the Triller fiasco. Take that, Jake Paul, Logan Paul. I'm gonna make it hard for you all. You think Floyd Mayweather sent his goons out to get you? You ain't been punished till you've been punished by St. Daniel of the parking lot. You won't get your parking lot. You won't even get your parking spot. It's a knot. It's a knot. It's a knot. St. Daniel of the parking lot, help me find a parking spot. Is you, is or is you not? St. Daniel of the parking lot. St. Daniel of the parking lot. You is. You is. You is. By the power vested in me by the Church of St. Daniel of Parking Lot Saints, it's time to go as you pull from your parking spots. Remember, there are a ton of other people out there trying to get out at the same time. There is nothing worse than folks getting out of church. They are vicious. Do not be one of them.